Good day, everybody. Hope you're having an awesome day. We're gonna work on our wrists. What's the deal there? A lot of confusion going on. We're gonna work it out. Let's go. All right, thanks for stopping by. By the way, appreciate it. We're gonna start on the putting green so I can show you a little example of what we're talking about here. Now, everybody's been talking about hands and wrists and all that kind of stuff. And I want to smooth out the confusion because do you use your hands in your golf swing? Of course you use your hands. I always say quiet the hands and don't use the hands. Why do I say that? Here's why I say that is because look, you use your hands putting, right? I think we all can agree you use your hands when you putt. What if I look like this, putting? What would you tell me? What would you say? You'd say, dude, you gotta quiet those hands down, right? Yes, of course, but I'm still using my hands, okay? I'm not gonna not use my hands, couldn't putt, right? Okay, that's ridiculous. So yes, I'm using my hands, like all that good stuff, but I'm not gonna look like I just did. I'm gonna smooth everything out and just do a nice smooth stroke. That's what I want you to do in your regular swing. And we're gonna talk about that and when to wrist hinge. Because yes, you do wrist hinge, but I'm gonna show you what that actually means. Come on. Okay, so what are we talking about? Oh, by the way, all the gear, products and stuff like that that I recommend and use, there are links in the description below. Also, if you want a MrShortGame alignment stick cover, there are still a few available. Be sure to check that out, link in the description below. So, talking about the hands. Now, I just gave you an example of why, I always say quiet the hands. Yes, you use the hands, you use them, but most of us use them way too much. Now, here's what I want you to say. I hear a lot of other instructors, pros, saying, oh, you use the hands, use the hands, use the hands. And a lot of them say, oh, I've been teaching for 50 million years and blah, blah. Let me say, if an instructor, can I give you a little tip, free piece of advice here. If an instructor says to you, I've been teaching for 1,000,000 years, I've seen it all, this is what you need to do. That's code for, I don't know how to explain it. Or that's like your parents saying to you, let's do it because I said so. That's why you do it, because I said so, because I know better than you. That's what they're doing. So what you do is you grab your stuff and you run away as far as you can, because that is not the type of instruction you need. You may need to do something. They should be able to explain it. They should be able to give you, look, here's what's going on. And I'm never gonna try to fit your swing into my philosophy, my box. What I'm gonna do is give you drills and tips and advice so that you can mature your own swing and your own game. Kind of like that Arnold Palmer style. We swing your swing is what you're gonna do. You're gonna take what I give you and apply it to what you do, and out is gonna equal something great that is yours personally. It's not, you're not copying anybody, okay? So, just so you know when to run for the hills when it comes to golf instruction. I know because I've been teaching for, nah, just kidding. Okay, so what do? Yes, we use the hands, right? We use the hands. I'm assuming you got a decent grip, you got all that stuff, it's in the fingertip. Okay, that's all good. What we're gonna talk about is when to hinge and how that looks. Here's what it looks like. And I want you to practice this on these short shots, okay? Just here. I got the wrong club for this shot. Okay, whatever, it doesn't matter. But I want you to practice on the short game. It doesn't matter if it goes, whatever. I'm just going to kind of this first flag. But, and this applies throughout your entire swing. So what you're gonna do is, this is why you practice it on the short game, because I'm not going to take a full swing here. That's not what's gonna happen. I'm gonna swing right to here, which is the key ingredient to all swing changes, or anytime you're making a change, you wanna do it in this zone right here. Okay? That's what you wanna do. So every swing change is right in here. Everything you're working on. So I'm working on wrist hinge, okay? Taking back quiet. Quiet hands. When do I wrist hinge? And what does it look like? That was a good one. All right, so, and don't tell me you need to be like this in your golf swing either. Tell Steve Stricker that. He does not do that. So what I want is quiet hands right to here, okay? Don't rotate that face open, even on the short game. You're not rotating this. Rotation gets your hands away from your body and it whips that club way inside. That is not what you want, okay? So there's no rotation. It's just here. Now, here's your wrist hinge. That's it. That's a wrist hinge right there. Let me show you here. You're here, waist high. Now my wrists hinge right there. Right there. Okay, it's kind of like going like this. Okay? But when you turn here, like it just goes that much. That's all there is in a wrist hinge. That's as much hand manipulation as we want. So we want to practice it here on these little shots because then I could just easily take it hands belt high. And that's when I get a little bit of that wrist hinge right in here. So I'm just going hands belt high. That's where my wrist hinge comes, right here. And then I rotate through the ball. That's it. Don't worry about it too much else. You're just doing these soft little guys. If you can control it on a soft, short little shot like this, then you're gonna have great success with your full swing. Whew. And that's what you want. So just right to here, wrist hinge. Ball is really center of my stance here, wrist hinge, and then I go. And this is where you're gonna do all your work so that when you take a full swing, it'll all come together. And notice my follow through is just very subtle, very smooth, right in here. Wrist hinge, unwrist hinge, right? Wrist cock, let it go. And I'm just naturally letting it happen. So there is some wrist motion, but when I say quiet the hands, I'm not rotating my hands open and closed. That will destroy your game. Waist high, wrist, right there. Now, if you're rotating your hands and doing that, you're gonna rotate that face open and wrist hinge, and you're gonna come down, you're gonna shank the ball. So if you're shanking the ball, then just know, oh, I need to keep that face shut, feeling like it's shut on, right to waist high, and then give myself a little wrist hinge, okay? So that's what you're feeling. If you're shanking it, it's because you rotated that open. So you don't want any rotation. If anything, you want to feel like you're shutting the face on the backswing a little bit, right to here, and then you get a nice little wrist hinge there. That's the key. And you get a nice, you see that ball land and gets a little check, and you're good to go. That's the key to how to use your hands properly in the golf swing. This applies to every club in your bag, minus your putter, right? If I'm using a 4-iron here, I'm swinging waist high here, then I get a little wrist hinge, just subtly. I mean, and that's the thing, when you get into these longer clubs, you don't have to consciously set those wrists or cock those wrists or hinge them. They will do it themselves, but you're just thinking hands waist high, and then that's where that little wrist action comes into play. That's it. It's not a rotating of the hands open and closed. So work on that. When you do, work on it with your wedges, little shots like this, and your game will see a whole nother level. And look, there's no secret to greatness. It's going to come through your work, okay? You're gonna have to put in the work. I'm not gonna give you a tip that's gonna change your life other than, hey, you gotta go practice and hit shots and keep working it out. Little things, work on the little things, and eventually it'll morph into your game, your swing, your everything because of the work you put into it. You can do it, I know you can, Thanks for watching. Good luck. Love you guys. See you in the next video.